and welcome to English Your Experience. I'm ET Tutor. This is a revision video for Edexcel GCSE English language students who are completing Paper 2, Section A. So this time it's question 3, which sometimes people find a little bit more tricky. It's one of the longer mark questions. So what we're going to do is really unpick the question and think about what the examiner is looking for, and then have a look at a couple of examples. And if you want to add your own examples in the comment section below, that would be great. So, analyse how the writer uses language and structure to engage the reader. Support your views with reference to the text. Let's break it down. Analyse. We want it to be a critical piece of writing. You're best to write in the third person rather than the first person if you can. And you need to be using the appropriate subject terminology. If you haven't seen my videos on subject terminology, there's something that you might want to check out too. Then we're looking at what the writer's doing in terms of language, so techniques, devices, and in terms of structure. You need to have at least one of each of these different types of example. So at least one for structure, at least one for language. Otherwise you would not be able to reach 15 marks. Your mark would be capped because you've only given one type of example. Then where we get reference to the text, you know this, it's a direct quotation or a particular textual detail. If you're talking about language, it's more likely that you will want to use an actual quotation as your reference because you're unpicking the words themselves. Right. Take a deep breath. That all being said, have a read of the text in the description box, because this time you're looking at the whole text, and see if you can come up with any examples. Right. Because people find structure more difficult, I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to try and just talk you through a very simple way of structuring a point about structure. So I would say the writer uses structure to entertain the reader. And then I would give this quotation here, because this is a short, standalone paragraph. And by having this offset, it's a little harder to see looking at it like this, but it's a paragraph there on its own. By doing that, by having this one very short paragraph that contains this direct speech, it really is a structural device to keep the reader intrigued, but also to really emphasise how the writer wants the reader to understand Bear Grylls' excitement. Okay, so I know that ended up being a little bit more rambly. It's harder to talk through it than it is to write it down. So if you re-listen and have a go at writing that idea in your own thoughts. So basically, we've got a really short paragraph here in the middle of the text. So it emphasises Bear Grylls' excitement and makes us as readers feel more excited too. Okay, so there's a structure one for you. I suppose I ought to give you a language one as well. So I'm going to go right to the start. There's often good stuff going on at the start. You know this from your own writing. People like to make an impact at the beginning. So here we have Bear Grylls grilled by council over cliffside slide. Ugh. It's a tongue twister. That relates to the fact they're talking about this slide and having fun. And then we've got wordplay here. Grills, grilled. So the word grilled is being used metaphorically. He's not actually going to be put on a barbecue or something, is he? He is being asked a lot of questions. He's being interrogated. So you could use that example from the headline. So it'd be something like, the writer uses language in the headline, Bear Grylls grilled, This wordplay is used to engage the reader by making them laugh and making them consider the plight that Bear Grylls is going through. It sets the tone and we feel that this is going to be quite a light-hearted piece, which is really. Right, I'm not going to give you any more examples because if I just give you all the examples, you don't get the practice. So if you do comment and I'm getting too many answers, I won't be able to get back to all of you, but hopefully you can help each other out. All right then, best of luck with that, and hopefully I will see you again when we start looking at text 2.